Resolve to not be in the red. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and I see this is one of those filters that makes your head huge. I don't like when that happens, but it is what it is. Today is day 1,213 of What's She Up To Now, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of businesses to the online world of business. Been involved in business for 47, almost 48 years now, and means I've got an experience in a lot of different things. Some people spend their entire career in one industry, one business, one type of work or field. I have spent mine in several, not a ton, but several, like 27 or so different businesses and industries over my career thus far. Not dead yet, so I'm not done yet. And one of the things that I did is in 2017, following my divorce, I was like, all right, I need to do something. I'm old, but I'm not old enough to throw in the towel and not do anything anymore. So what am I going to do? So I decided I would explore the online world, the internet world, because I'd always been curious about it, but never had really the time or energy to have alarms go off and remind me I'm slow today. So I went for a walk this morning. I've never really been able to devote the time. Raising my family, raising my kids, had other priorities, and mostly their activities and making sure that they had a great upbringing. And the internet was new. The internet wasn't invented when I first started my options in my careers. So I wanted to explore that. So I hopped on in 2017, done a bunch of things. Some of them absolute complete flops, mainly because I didn't put enough time, energy, and effort into them. I think of things like webinars, mixed success, but I didn't put enough time and energy into really getting awesome at webinars, to keep doing them, to keep presenting them, to make them a home run out of the park success. So did it fail, or is it something I just learned for a while and then chose a different direction? One of the things and one of the temptations about the online world is it's very, very easy to get pulled in different directions. Some lead you faster to where you want to go. Others, the vast majority of them, lead us right in the opposite direction of what we want and where we want to go and what we want to achieve online. So we need to be careful of that. And that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned online is know what you want and work toward that with everything that you do. Everything you choose to learn, everyone you choose to follow, everything you decide to do. So right now I am doing a couple of challenges. I've been doing challenges for decades, like for most of my life, but especially since I was in my 20s. I've done challenges. I've challenged myself by setting goals, setting objectives, and then challenged myself to do the things I need to do to make sure that I will achieve those goals. And now, over the last year with COVID and everything, I started to do a free 30-day plus, I usually do 31 days, get up and go challenge. Why? Because I needed to get up and go. I needed to get up and keep going every single day during that pandemic. And it's, still here in a greater or lesser degree, depending on where you live and what the political climate says that the threat is at the time. But it changed almost all of our lives in some ways. Some good, some bad, some ugly, some awesome, some devastating, some traumatic. But all of us have been impacted by the pandemic. And so one of the things I continued to do and fell back on is something that's always worked for me, and that's doing challenges. So I just finished the 7th 30 plus day get up and go challenge in April into May. April only has 30 days, so 30 day plus meant May 1st was the last day of that. And I'm taking a month or so off, probably June and July, because my kids are going to Alaska and I'm going to be in charge of their kids because they're a little too young to go to Alaska. So for 12 days, I'm going to be grandma extraordinaire. At least I think I'm going to try to be grandma extraordinaire. We'll see. A 4-month-old and a 6-year-old part of the time. So we'll see if they run me ragged or if I can keep them hopping. So our challenge today, I'm doing an annual challenge this year. This is the 4th year that I've done an annual challenge in 2018. 2017 was a get to figure things out year. And I had a huge health challenge in 2017, very similar to the one I'd had in, 1980, early 1980s. So I knew how to handle it this time. It took me 3 years to deal with it and figure it out in the 1980s, and it took me 3 weeks max to figure it out in the 2018 episode. 2018? 2017 episode. It was 2017. I actually hopped online became a certified partner for ClickFunnels, flew out to Idaho, got certified, did the training and the group participation, which was it was a great certification program. I wish they hadn't discontinued it because it really taught people how to do the thing that they sell and help others to do it successfully as well. Now, do you need to be certified to do it? No, absolutely, possibly not. There are hundreds of thousands, I think there's 100,000 plus people using ClickFunnels software now. But when I went online, I needed a foundational basis, a springboard to jump off of for my online activities. And to me, it felt like the perfect right choice. But after I flew out to Idaho, I flew to Colorado to visit my kids. And for some reason, I had sprained my ankle the week before. And all of those things combined were the perfect storm to shut me down and give me some major physical challenges and health challenges. But unlike, in the early 80s when there was no internet, the internet existed, and so I could reach out and I could ask for help, I could research, I could find ideas of what to do based on my years of experience of what didn't work for me last time. The things that they did for me medically worked for a lot of other people, but they absolutely positively did not work for me. They made my problems worse. Of course, as soon as I went to the doctor in 2017, my doctors actually prescribed the exact same protocol I had been on that I said was a challenge for me, and back onto steroids, and within a day I knew immediately that wasn't going to work and I had to find something else. So I found out something else, got myself out of bed in 3 weeks, not 100% in 3 weeks, but I was actually able to function and continue moving forward. So then in 2018, I hopped online with the daily challenge. The first one was to do one thing every day that stretched my comfort zone. So it was called Do One Thing Every Day That Scares You. Then in 2019, we did Do One Thing Every Day That Makes You Happy, because I wanted a little more happiness and joy in my life. And then 2020, I picked Do One Fun Thing Every Day, which was perfect for 2020 because I was hanging out with my then 5-year-old granddaughter through most of that time until she went to school in August. And then in August, she went to school and I only saw her once, or work and see her once in a while. But now this summer again, I'm going to be hanging out with her. And she's just turned 6 last week, so I'm super excited about it. And I'm super excited about seeing all the things that she learned in school and what we're going to work on for next year during the summer. Because I think that with our education system the way it is, it's very important that parents and grandparents get involved and make sure we're helping our kids along. Kids are expected to learn and do and know so much more than when we were kids. It's a little bit mind-boggling. So the challenge today, this year we're doing Do One Thing Every Day That Centers You. 2021, even into 2020. I found this at the cabin in the middle of the summer last year. And it already felt like we were in this pandemic forever in like July or August of 2020. And I picked out, okay, well, I need to find something that's going to make me feel better about the direction I'm going in my life and that I understand and am more centered. So that's why I picked Do One Thing Every Day That Centers You. So today we talked about, from Benjamin Franklin, the importance of resolve to do the things we ought to do and then perform them without fail. What we choose, what we decide, what we think we're going to work on. And our idiom for supersize your business was in the red today. In the red, the use of red ink to denote that you're in debt or you owe somebody money has been an accounting practice for a long time. The use of red ink dates back to the 1300s, where religious days and other holidays and important dates were marked on calendars in red as far back as the 1300s. So look, marking negative amounts or amounts you owe to people, it just seems fitting that that's done in red. Don't like the feeling of it. I mean, like all other human beings, and I would suspect a whole lot more during this COVID pandemic, a lot more people have seen red in addition to being in the red, owing money on things that they've always been able to easily pay. And it's devastating to folks. It's really devastating. Depending on your personal situation, the pandemic has impacted us to a greater or lesser extent, but it, in my estimation, has impacted probably just about everyone on the planet. Some people in awesome ways, they benefited greatly from the pandemic. Other people in devastating, traumatic ways, they've really been hurt and harmed by the pandemic. It's been the same pandemic for all of us. It's just impacted and how we experience has been different for each and every one of us. So working on my challenges, of course, working on a couple other big projects that are still hush hush, so I'm not going to talk about them, but I am working on them. Worked on one quite a bit yesterday. I snuck out of the, I didn't sneak out of the house, I left the house and I went to a park because I love working when it's a beautiful day outside. Today it's a little chillier. Went for a walk this morning because I wanted to see the eclipse. It was supposed to be a lunar eclipse. It was really cool. And of course, at the house, super cloudy. So as I walked over to the park, it cleared up a little. And as the sun was coming up, it was burning off the clouds, but not soon enough for me to be able to take advantage of the eclipse. So I was a little sad about that, but I realized how much I like getting up and being outdoors in the morning to see the sunrise and walk around and get some exercise and things. So if I can help you in any way, if you've got a question that's just burning inside you and you don't know how to find the answer, you haven't been able to find the answer, just hit me up in the comments below. I might not have the exact answer for you, but I guarantee I can help you to take the next step, do the next step, know what the next step is. Because guess what? You already know what it is. So ask me in the comments below. Direct message me if you've got a question like that. And be advised that during June, I probably won't be able to make that offer and answer anybody's questions, as I'm going to be very, very busy with granddaughters. And you know what? I couldn't be more delighted. All right, have an awesome day. Try to keep yourself out of the red. Do whatever you can to be in the black and out of the red. And I will see you tomorrow, just to let you know what I'm doing as I transition from brick and mortar world to the online world, and from the online world back to the brick and mortar world. Because guess what? It's fluid. We can change our mind. We can go back and forth and back and forth. And we can be in both at the same time. That's my favorite. Have an awesome day.